Good morning and welcome to probably one of the most unorganised but well-stocked fishing rooms you're probably likely to ever see. It's been a while, weather's been terrible, so I thought I'd take this opportunity to kind of throw out some rubbish, do a bit of organisation, get some mould off some things because this is my basement and that's a moisture sucker upper there and you can see how much water's in there. I've got these littered throughout the room. A little bit of a tidy up, and I've had a lot of questions from you guys saying, Brooksy, can you run us through all your gear? Again, haven't done that for quite some time, so what better opportunity than right now. This is it. I've got all kinds of stuff, just super quick. I've got like cleaning stuff for the boat here, miscellaneous hooks and bits and pieces in that tub, popper tub, floating stick bait tub, sinking stick bait tub, some squid jigs, smaller stick baits down here, a couple of other big ones there, jig heads, a little bit of organisation, new stuff, moldy stuff. This is my hook section that needs to be restocked, leader section, which is an absolute shambles, braid, fly lines, rod knees that will go through. The floor is currently littered with new stuff. A lot of you guys would have noticed I'm now doing stuff with the guys from Wilson. So I'm in the process of unpacking because they pretty much do something for everything, every kind of fishing imaginable. So I've got a lot of stuff to go through. This is my little bench. That's obviously a mess. Spare reels, fly rods, more setups, and this over here is like the no-show prototype rod section. A couple more rods up there. You can see, look at this, man. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. See that? That's mold from it just being so dank in here. So yeah, that's the plan. We'll do a little tidy up, take you through it, and we'll run through all my setups and give you guys a good idea of what's going on in here. Maybe help out some of your own choices with tackle. Probably the most interesting thing for you guys is rods and reels, and what I use on a day-to-day basis. So we'll give you a run through of all this stuff. Like the shelving. Me and the boys put these in a couple months ago. Super easy little brackets from Bunnings. I'll show you what brackets they are. I've got more. Very simple. Simple, cheap, and they work, which is great. First one here, Zanak Tabizo Racing Model 83 150. 14,000 Saltiga. That's got the SLP spool and handle. P8 Saltiga 12 strand, which is this stuff. That stuff. Obviously in P8. And that's the line I've been running for a little while now. This is my setup that I generally use for all things GTs around the islands. Oman, I'll probably go up to P10 on a 18,000 size reel, but probably use the same rod. Yeah, all general heavy tackle casting. That's the number one setup for me. On that at the moment, I got the Duo 230F Fumble 11.0 BKK singles on it as well. So I'll give you a little proper look at it. It's amazing. I love it. It's probably one of my favorite setups, but I'll probably say that a bunch of times because a lot of them are my kind of favorite setups for different styles of fishing. So that's it. TC 83 150G, 14K, Saltiga. Amazing. That's go-to top water. If you, one of the reasons for making these videos is that you obviously get a lot of questions, people asking like, what should I buy for doing this, 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 and this? So GTs, kingfish, Spanish mackerel fishing, any type of top water, heavy tackle casting, that setup is like as good as it gets. Very, very nice. From there, we got a couple of other rods up here that haven't been used it very much lately, again because of the weather. This is the Tabizo TC84-100, little bit lighter than the 83-150, but super nice feel. Amazing for, I use this quite a bit for like P6, Spanish mackerel, reef, Great Barrier Reef GTs, where they're generally a little bit smaller, all that kind of stuff, and just throwing smaller, more kind of finesse floating stick baits kind of thing that we'll get into a little bit more in a little bit as well. Next one, kind of similar rod, but a bit more specific, is the Zanak Sinpa 83 Hiramasa. This is like, this rod's really, really sick. So hard to film a fishing rod, but this thing's incredible. Again, there's a bit of dust on it, but this is like, cast weight on this is 65 gram to 130 gram, line rating P 5 to 8. And this is like the rod I give to Brooke to use when we're on the reef fishing for GTs. It's just so comfortable when fighting a fish, super soft and forgiving on the body. Just amazing rod to use. This one's super floating stick bait specific, softer tip, getting the most action out of those kind of lures. But I love this rod, man. With like a 10,000 size reel, 10,000 Saltiga or Surtate, that rod is like incredible. One thing that's worth noting with all the Tabizos and the Sinpa and stuff, it's got the hexagonal foregrip, which is probably really hard to see. Yeah, you can see that there. Might sound like a bit of a gimmick and all that kind of stuff, but in the hand, it's actually like game-changing, incredible. I think the torque up of it is like you don't have to hold as hard, and it's more ergonomic for the hand. But for me, I'm super used to it now. I've been using them for years, and it just feels like right, you know what I mean? Really nice. So that's the Sinpa 83 Hiramasa, 84-100, 83-150. I swear the mold in here is like cooking my throat. Whenever I come in here, it's just like my throat gets a bit sore, so I need to really sort it out. Anyway, we'll go down. This is a rod I've been using a lot recently, especially on the reef. Whenever we get out there, I've been using it for GTs and like heavier flats fishing, just to keep it exciting, you know. Like I said before, a lot of the reef GTs are a little bit smaller size. You still do come across big ones. I was lucky enough to come across a big one using this rod. That one fish has made the day. That's a cracker. A few months ago, and it was sweet. But I fish at like P5, and it's just comfort level 10 million. Throwing like obviously lighter lures because it's a lighter rod, but it's just a dream to use, man. This is the TC8080. I fish it with an 8,000 Surtate on there at the moment. P5, Saltiga 12 strand again. And I'm generally fishing like, what's the cast weight? Let me just check the cast weight here. Lure best weight, 50 to 90 gram, max 110 grams. So I've like, I think the big GT I caught, hold on one sec. The big one I caught on this rod was on this lure, which is like obviously, look at the hooks. Tiny hooks, 2.0 hooks on a 35 gram blackledge token. So even though it says lure best 50 to 90, that's a 35 gram lure. That was getting sent an absolute mile and got me like a 35 kilo GT. So amazing setup, super good to use. If you want like a good all-round like a flats, Great Barrier Reef flats, Spanish mackerel, tuna, kingfish rod. Like this thing is just where it's at. It's got the RG guides. And it's just amazing. Again, really hard to film a fishing rod, but that's one of my like most used setups when I'm in the boat at the moment is this one. TC 8080, 8000 Certate, really good. This is probably going to be quite a long video because there's quite a bit of stuff to go through here. Next one, I know I've said it. Another one of my favorite rods that I use a lot, and this is like an all-round kind of rod that I use constantly for different things, is the Fakito Twitch. This rod, man, I love it. FC73-3 Fakito Twitch, 6000 Saltiga 23 on there, P3 Saltiga 12 braid, 80 pound leader at the moment, a 1 ounce jig head at the moment, and a Xeric prawn. Last thing this caught was an 85 centimeter finger mark in the most recent video. You can see there, that's the, if it doesn't focus on me and focus on the rod, but there's finger mark poo still on me rod butt, which is a little bit annoying, but this rod, man, I use it for everything. Casting for tuna, soft plastics down deep, vibing, reef flats, doesn't matter, anything. It's incredible. It's like just the ultimate all-round setup. I know they're really popular with in terms of sales. Duncan at Fishhead sells them ridiculously. So I've got two of them. I've got that one there with the Saltiga on it, and I got this one here with the 6000 Certate on it, just so I've always got a spare, and then if there's someone else in the boat as well, they can use that. Really mint. So these are kind of like my everyday use around here that I just grab when I'm going out in the boat. From there we go into like the next one's down, I like jigging rods, so I'll give you a quick look at them. Next one, in the recent video as well, Zanak Fakito Akari FB64-5. This is, all the Akari ones are solid carbon core blank, as opposed to like a normal jigging rod where it's like a hollow blank. And if you look into it, when it's a circular hollow blank, it can only bend so much, and then the circle starts becoming an oval, and then it gets too much and breaks. So the idea behind this being solid, it can bend a lot more. In saying that, it's not extra heavy either. It's super light, nice. On that, I've got this Daiwa Saltiga 15, P3 Saltiga 12 braid again, and this jig, Jesus Christ, this jig. Try and get out of there. So that's the Staggerbot 150 mustard Staggerbot, BKKC Rangers on the front, and that just cleaned up on the nannies of the last session. You see here, I get a lot of people asking me, Brooksy, why you got these rod wraps there? It's just to protect the split butt when I've got it in a rod holder, and it is kind of a little bit more comfortable as well. But yeah, that as a jigging setup for any kind of reef species is just incredible. Red Emperor, nannies, fingers, coral trout, whatever. Amazing setup. Just the big cranking power with this reel is incredible. I used to use the Lexas quite a bit, but this thing like shits all over the Lexa just for cranking power. It's amazing. And it just feels so like mechanical in the hand. It's really sick. Next one, another light one. It's like the equivalent but in a spin model. Fakito Akari 64-5.5, same carbon core construction, just a spin model, 6000 Certate on there, P3. Just nice to use when you don't want to use the overhead and you want a bit of scream and drag. Last one on this rack is, if I can get it off, is this guy, a bit more heavy duty, Fakito Akari FS5510, solid carbon construction again, 10,000 Certate on there, needs a wash, bit of salt on there, needs a wash, I'll leave that one out. This one I kind of use a bit more for, I guess, like if there's sharks or if there's a potential for a bigger fish, reds or even a doggy or something like that, I'll use this just for a bit more stopping power. P5 on there, and I got that Ink Vader on there at the moment, that Psycho Octopus thing. But really nice rod, and yeah, just big stopping power. I just actually ordered, I got a new lot of rods coming because we're off to Oman soon. I ordered this rod, but in the overhead model, so that'll be pretty exciting to use. Give that a go. Get that back in there. All right. So that's those ones. All the way down. That's all them. They're my go-tos. There's another water sucker upper there, half full of water too. Alrighty, from there, I thought we'd change it up a little bit before we go into more rods. A couple new things that have just arrived, so I'll give you a little look. I am going to Oman in like just over a month. So this is a little special package just for Oman from Julian, Blackledge Lures. Obviously, Oman, we're fishing like big GTs is the aim of the game. So these are all going to be pretty big lures. We got 160 gram tokens. That was like my go-to last trip. It was a different color, but that lure just slayed last trip. So there's one of them, another one of them, different color. We got here. That's this one, 150 gram Arise, very similar, bit more of a what's the word, like a regimented action. Like you sweep it and it'll go kick out to the side, whereas the token's a bit more erratic. Both really good. Both can handle big hooks. I'll run like 7.0 BKK GT Rexes on them. So there's another Arise in the last human color that we did. Spanish mackerel. What else we got here? A couple 160 gram. 160 gram floating peanuts. A couple different colors. One thing I didn't really have many of last time was like big sinking lures. So that's 170 gram peanut, which is like slow sink, big flash. That'll get used a lot. And 130 gram floating peanut. That's epic. Sick little box. Thank you very much, Julian. Blackledge Lures. Some of the very best lures on the planet. Very nice. Sorry, it's super hard to film this kind of shit by yourself, but got this new bag here, Siren Lures. Waterproof boat bag. My old mate Jace, who I'll be seeing in August, cannot wait. Sent this over, and it's got a bunch of new stuff in there, so I'll give you a quick run through of that. This is like, I always struggle with like tackle storage and having like tackle trays and bags and stuff to put things in that's convenient to use, doesn't take up a shitload of room, and is still semi-organized. So what I've done, I've got a bunch of these boxes from the guys at Wilson, just tackle trays. They got the changeable inserts so you can mix up the sizes. I've got a bunch of the Dialer D boxes as well, and that's just kind of helping me store things a little bit better, even though it still turns into a shit show, but the idea is there to help me store it a little bit better. So that's like a bit of a barra box, a little bit of top secret stuff in there, so I'll put that away. I'm sure you'll see that stuff soon. Other stuff we got in here, let's bring it up. I got some cool shit in there now. First things first in here, this is really rad. We went to Japan recently for the Osaka fishing show, and me good mate, Mr. Jeff Yamamoto, makes these D-Claw saltwater game. He's a legend. He's one of the Zanac original like pro staff dudes, and he's making these lures as well. And like, look at these things, man. These are 300 mil floating sticks. They're like, I think they're designed for like tuna and kingfish, but I'm gonna get a GT to eat them as well. They look amazing. Bunch of different models. D-Claw bubbles, really good. A couple of bubbles, different size bubbles, and it sent me a couple of these poppers as well. I think they're Beacon, they're called. Really good. I've used these before on the reef for GTs, and It's just super easy to use, and you can kind of crank them as well. So really sick. Any of these D-Claw ones, they are available at Fish Head if you're in Australia. Anywhere else in the world, I'm not entirely sure, but look them up. D-Claw. Jeff's the man. His son's about to move here to Australia as well, so you'll be meeting his son soon, and we'll be fishing together quite a bit. I think I've showed you guys some of this guy's lures before. These are skate baits, they're called. They're made out of recycled old snapped skateboards, and which is awesome. Really cool idea. And he sent me a bunch of sinking ones originally, and he's just started making floating ones. So really sick, and just a cool idea in a world where there's like thousands of lure makers these days. These things are pretty awesome, man. Recycle from skateboards, rad. Other things we got while I was in Japan, I bought this little thing, I don't know why. Tiny little carpenter, whatever it is. Bit of a talk up. And one of the cool things at the trade show, I met one of the guys from Nature Boys with Duncan from Fish Head, and he gave me a couple of things to try, a couple little jigs, which look really cool. I forget the real talk up about it now, but they're like, he experiments a lot with different metals. So there's like tungsten ones, there's zinc ones, there's all different kinds of stuff, which make them more expensive to produce and sell, but really cool idea. You can get like, that's 80 grams and it's tiny in comparison to a normal 80 gram jig, which would be like that. So that's the mixing around with different metals. Really cool. It was really rad to meet this guy from Nature Boys, and he was frothing. Early, old school, morning tide fan. I'm sweating like a pig in here. The next important thing, it's probably one of the most important things to talk about, is line. I've used a few different lines over the years. I've used Varavas, I've used Tasline, I've used the Nomad stuff. All were good, all had their positives, all had their negatives. The Nomad stuff that I was recently using, very strong, which is great, but very thick, sucked in water. But the bottom line for me it was strong. I wanted to really find like the right line for me and try some different lines. And I tried a bunch. I tried this J-Braid Expedition, super nice to cast, super thin, feels beautiful. The only thing with this is I'm running it all on all my light stuff, but on my heavier stuff, this is a true breaking strain, this one. So like P5 is actually P5. It's not like normal where like P5 on this is actually 66 pound or 30 kilo. P8 in, where is it? Oh, here we go. P4 in the Saltiga 12 is actually 68 pound. You know what I mean? So the Expedition is true breaking strain. So I've kept that on all my light stuff and all my like heavier stuff where I have to be able to put more pressure on. I've gone to the Saltiga 12 and some of them, this Saltiga Jura Sensor stuff. I really like this one. I think this is the one. 12 strand, super ridiculously thin. And I haven't had any dramas yet, which is nice. That's the biggest thing. Like, you gotta be able to trust your line. As soon as you have drama, bad. You almost have to take all your line off as soon as you have drama and just try something different because it cooks you internally in the brain. So confidence in anything is key. Confident in that, which is nice. And it casts amazing. After using that Nomad stuff, even though it was super strong, you cast it felt like you were casting a rope. So super nice to be using a really good line. That's not me writing off anyone, that's just been real. If you don't want real, if you want the bullshit, not the place. Yeah, so that's line. Obviously, there is hundreds of different lines out there. It's just finding what works for you and what one you're confident in. Obviously, everyone has different experiences with the same lines, you know what I mean? Like, you could be someone that's tried the Saltiga 12 and had it break, and now you hate it. Or you could be someone that's tried Tasline or Varavas or whatever it is. Everyone has different experiences. There is things with bad batches with every line company, and I think it all just boils down to what you are confident in. Also, forgot to mention, my fishing room's turned into a bit of a storage facility for Cavi's stuff. Many of Cavi things in here somewhere. I don't know where they are, but that's all right. Scored a couple waterproof cabbie bags off him. Nice little waterproof cabbie backpack there. Also storage for pretty important things. The clubs, still don't know how to hit them. But we're getting a bit off topic. Next, spare reels that we've got lying around here. Another 14K Saltiga that I use constantly. 4,000 brand new 24 Surtate, never been used, amazing. 5,000 24 Surtate, never been used, amazing. Revelries, Maverick, old Warlord Saltiga, 6,000, just been serviced, feels amazing. 10,000 Surtate, 18,000 Surtate, Tertullian, Lexar. What we got here? HRF. Another Tertullian with mold all over the handle. Needs a respool. Look at this thing, Relic. Catalina. Old school sizes, very moldy. Start to look at some spares that are laying there. They all just get rotated through on different rods, and it's super nice to just have like, not a spare for everything, but you have, in case a reel breaks or you get spooled, and you can just like switch out onto another thing and not have to deal with all the dramas of spooling and stuff again. Might sound a little bit lazy, but when it's like you're on a bit of a time frame, you get home 6 o'clock at night, you got to go again at 4 o'clock in the morning. You don't want to be spooling up in the middle of the night after you've been fighting fish all day. So that's a big one. We've done some of the rods, quick breakdown of some of the new lures that have been sent from some really cool guys. And I'll give you a quick look at some of the Wilson stuff that I've been using, that I've been really enjoying using as well. Like I said earlier, they make stuff to do every facet of fishing imaginable. They've just released their new like electric reel battery, so you don't have to plug into your boat, which is awesome. I'd love to actually give that a go. I'm probably gonna give my first ever electric reel session a go sometime soon. But yeah, they make a bit of stuff for everything. Australian owned company, and for me, it's been super refreshing doing stuff with those guys, just because they're just real, straight up, sit down, have a beer, have a laugh, go for a fish, and the bottom line is they just love fishing. So that's the best thing for me, because that's my bottom line as well. Like, end of the day of all the bullshit, I just like going fishing, and I'm extremely lucky that you guys want to watch me go fishing, that I can do it for a job. But that's the long and short of it. I just love going fishing, so, which is awesome. Great relationship, we get along well. But anyway, let's not get off topic here. Give us a look at some of the Wilson stuff I've been using. Obviously, you would have seen in a bunch of the most recent videos, this bad boy, Duo 230F Fumble. Probably, I reckon, my #1 like plastic floating stick bait on the planet now, I think. Really good, strong. Duo make all kinds of lures, and they're actually really bloody good. And that thing's just great. Super good action, casts really well. It takes different hooks, super strong. Plastic lure. If you don't want to go and fork out and spend hundreds of dollars on handmade, high-end kind of stick baits, or if you live in mackerel country where you're getting snipped all the time, this is what you need. Duo Fumble 230F, really good. Along with that, there's also the Xeric ones I've been using a bunch. What's this one? Xeric Zeppelin, in all different sizes. I've been using them a lot. Super similar. And there's something in the rattle, I think. I've been using like the smaller sizes on the reef flats and in floating, and then the smaller size again in sinking. And on the reef flats, that rattle trips fish out. So something in that, I don't know what it is. Other one I've really been loving are these, the Xeric live shrimps. I use them constantly. Barras, reef flats, finger mark the other day. Millions of different colours, a couple of different sizes. You can rig them weedless, you can rig them with a normal jig head, you can put a stinger on them. They just work. Really good. These, also incredible. Live mullet on the flats and for barra, really good. Admittedly, I do change the hook out to like a 1.0 or 2.0 BKK Raptors. But really good. So that's a couple. What else have we got? In all the duo stuff, they do like a million different like jerk baits. Like this one I've been using quite a bit in the dam. I can get it off the lure. That's a Duo Realist 120 suspending shallow diver. Changed out the hooks for BKK Vipers. Hooked a bunch of barrels on it in the dam. Hooked a couple in the marina as well. And they do all kinds of different stuff like that. So shallow divers, deep divers, stick baits, everything. It's ridiculous. What else we got in here? Got some weird things in here. So this is what I'm saying when I say duo do everything. I don't even know what that is. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. But what is it? Kona Flat 240F. I should throw that on the reef. Looks pretty sick. It's just super weird. I don't know what it would even do. Like you think of Wilson, you think of like old school. Then I didn't realize all the different stuff they do. Like duos, major, Xeric, all this stuff, and they actually make really good stuff. So I think the whole thing is changing the stigma around like an old school brand and showing what they have. For me, it's really exciting. So I encourage you guys, if you see it in a tackle store, give it a go because there's really good stuff. Another one is the jigs, the mustard jigs. That's the Wingman. Hectic flutter, really hectic. You can feel it when you drop it. It goes like, and goes slack for a minute before it flutters down again. It's really mental. All kinds of jigs. The stagger bod's probably my favorite. Smallest size of 150 though. Hopefully I can talk them into making a lighter one. All kinds of other stuff. There's obviously the live target stuff, Bone. I was lucky enough to go fishing with Bone the other week. We didn't catch anything, but he's a super cool guy and he makes some really wild stuff. So pretty interesting. So yeah, I've got to unpack all this stuff still, which is a little wild, but I got plenty of time on my hands. All this has got to go. All my Nomad stuff, old Nomad stuff. I think I touched base on it before. There's nothing weird there, but I'm going to be giving away. I keep finding little bits of Nomad stuff everywhere, so every time I find something, I'm just going to be giving it away. We do have the treasure lure hunt giveaway video to come, but the kid that won the golden ticket broke his arm, so he hasn't been able to go fishing, so we've got to wait a little bit for that. But that'll be a really good video. The back wall, have a go at that. These are more Bunnings spec vert rod holders. This is all my like lighter tackle. Excuse the shadows. That one's not really lighter tackle, but this is where a lot of them go. I'll give you a little rundown of these. Lighter stuff. First one, S66 and Axe Skipping Frog. Super nice little setup. 6'6". I have two rods that I kind of alternate this little 2500 Revelry on. This one I used a couple of videos ago catching golden trevally on the flats. I also alternate that reel. I really need another light reel, Dave, if you're watching. I alternate it with this rod here. So super similar in terms of like rating, weights and stuff. Again, moldy, but that's the S070 wide shooter. So 7 foot long, a little bit longer casting, and super nice. That's kind of my go-to light tackle. Skipping Frog, as the name suggests, be really good in the creeks and stuff for little jacks. So try and do that soon, I reckon. Bait casters, a couple of different ones. This one, B2.566 first pipe. This is like my lighter, more like mangrove jack, throwing lighter lures style bait cast setup. I got a little Bone diver on there at the moment, and that reel is a Zillion SV, can't remember what size, maybe 200. Super nice. I got like 20 pound braid on there. Really good looking little reel. And yeah, this is like the rod I use, like mangrove jacks in the creeks, all that kind of stuff. really super nice, and can cast like unweighted, like plastics up into the mangroves, all that kind of stuff really well. So that's my like creek bait caster. Next one, this is like my go-to all-rounder, B67 Frog. I've used this particular rod for years for barras, dam, salt. Does a bit of everything, this thing. It's got the same reel, zillion on there. 40-pound braid on this one. Not as much line, but for dam barras and stuff, you don't need a shitload of line. But that's awesome. Fish it with like 100-pound, 80 to 100-pound leader. That's go-to. 6'7". Next one is like my heavier duty bait cast that I use a lot of the time. It's B 4.572 Biwa spec. It's more of like a heavy duty, bigger barra, muscle them out of there kind of rod. On that I've got the Tertullian HD on there, 40-pound braid. Love the big handle knobs. That's the one with that duo suspending hard body on there. Epic rod. Big barras in the trees and the dams, so much fun because you can just manhandle them out of there. What else we got? Another go-to that I use constantly is this guy, Snipe 72XX, 4000 size, 2024 Certate, brand new. It's like the smoothest thing on earth. Feels incredible. Barras in the dam, barras in the salt, vibing, plastics in the mangroves, whatever. You do anything with this rod. Tuskies, do a lot of tuskies with this. Amazing, super crisp feel in the rod, super sharp, not soggy at all. I just love the feel. When you get a barra bite on this, it's like getting electric shock. Got a little Xeric prawny on there at the moment. Just super nice to use. RG guides on this one. You can see the guides there. A little bit different. Funnels the braid through and helps with your casting distance, and also eliminates a lot of tip wraps. Bunch of other ones I got here. I got like Tabizo 8050, which is a lighter version of the 8080 I showed earlier. This is like now a really sick rod that I didn't even know existed until recently. For land-based stuff, it's the Placer Answer PA89 Technical Surfer. Sick rod. 8'9", lure weight 10 to 28 grams P2. Man, this thing's mental. 8'9", fishing off the rocks, off the beach, cast lures a mile, and just super fun. I caught a couple barras on this the first time I used it, and it's just so sick. I think it's like a sea bass rod that the guys in Europe and stuff use, but translates really well over here in Australia. Again, RG guides, just a sick rod, I love it. And it's a bit long, so I'm getting tangled in the roof. I don't really know what else there is to show. Bunch of other rods here. There's a few that I can't really show yet, but I've got all my land-based ones here as well. Defi Muthos Akura 100 HHH. This is one I want to use soon because it's like the ultimate death stick. 10 foot long, super heavy GT rod. It'll be really sick to fight a fish on that. Got a bunch of other land-based ones like Sonios, Akura 100H, spare Tabizo, stuff like that in there. And that's what I was going to do today, go land-based fishing on the islands and just do something I haven't done in a while, but we'll do that soon, no doubt. It's another thing that's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys are seeing the Zanak reel seats yet. I think you would have, but I've been trialing these for like the last 3 years to get them perfect. But it's not like a Fuji reel seat. Shadow's a bit hectic, I know, but the comfort, man, unbelievable. This is a different grip as well. That's on all the new Zanak tuna rods. It's like a rubber grip as opposed to the EVA. You can see the hexagonal grip there as well. So just something different. I like that they just try different things to see what works and what doesn't. It's how you get better stuff. Fly rods, I got some of my fly rods, some of Godfrey's fly rods. I get my fly stuff from guys at Manic Tackle in New Zealand. I'm running Lamson Centerfire fly reels. That's a 12 weight. I've got two 12 weights and a 10 weight. Scott Wave rods. Got a couple that I've got to send back because I'm an idiot, and fly rods obviously aren't quite as strong as spinning rods and stuff like that, so I've broken a couple from doing dumb stuff, stabbing a shark one, and then my mate Tyrone snapped one the other day, which wasn't great. What else can I show you in here? We haven't really even been through all the lures, but I feel like it's getting a bit long in the tooth. I need to swim. That's pretty much going to do it for the tackle room little look. The biggest thing I want to give you guys a look at is like obviously the rods and reels to help answer the questions you guys have been asking. I think we've done that pretty good. Haven't really done the lures and stuff too well, but I gave you a quick look at things. Hooks, obviously all BKK. Leader, I go and buy Varavas leader because I think it's the best leader on the planet. I get sent a lot of different leaders to try, but I still go out and buy Varavas. I think Varavas leader is the best leader in the world. My opinion. Same with split rings. I go out and buy decoy split rings. I buy NT swivels because I think they're just the best. That's just what I like to use because again, same as the line, confident in it. What else? Other things just like these kinds of things are just priceless, man. Like little storage pouches, waterproof. Got a siren one there, Sims ones here. Just little things for chucking in the boat where you might put a few stick baits in there, your phone, your leader, whatever. I just think you can never have too many of that kind of thing. Otherwise, one thing I do want to show you real quick, come with me. Just like what I take in the boat. So when I go in the boat, I take this bag. Sorry. I take this bag here. I'll give you a quick look at what's in here. It's a real mess. But it's just like a box of spare hooks, bunch of different lures, bunch of different leaders, fly boxes, pliers, all that kind of stuff. That box is a shambles. That bag, sorry, there's just all random stuff in there. This one, try and keep it a bit more organized. And I keep everything in separate trays. So that's like a stick bait tray. That's a tray of prawns. So on, so on, so on. So that keeps it a little bit more organized in the boat. And I just chuck it in there. You know? Keep all my stuff down the back here. Those bags, gimbal there. Yeah. These hatches have got to be the worst things on the planet, by the way. Fuck, don't get me started. Apart from that, the boat's awesome. Just those hatches. It's just like, if you could be my brain sometimes. Anyway, look at this, brand new. Just put on, haven't been in the water yet. Brand new, brushless, Minn Kota, Tarova, Quest. Looks sick. Brushless, gonna be silent. Can't wait to give that a go. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed. Hopefully gave you a little bit more of an insight into the gear I'm using, one, why I'm using it, and I know my organisational skills are terrible in there. It's not like Will and Mary's beautiful tackle room. I don't know how they do that. It's a credit to them. Hats off to you for keeping it that clean. I don't know how you do it. If you're anything like me and you're in a rush to go fishing, shit just flies off the shelf and goes everywhere. So yeah, definitely not the cleanest tackle room on earth, but organised chaos is what we like to call it. But yeah, thanks heaps for coming around, having a little look, and till the wind stops, we'll see you on the water soon.